This is Matt from Aftermath, and today I'm going to be doing the video review on probably one of my favorite guns I own in my armory. That is the KWA 2GX G36c. So let's get started. Alright guys, so before I do the unboxing on the KWA G36c here, I want to do a background history on the G36 itself. I like to do that with my gun reviews. So the G36 was actually created in the early 1990s by a firearms company called H&K, which is known as Heckler & Koch. The G36 was created basically to replace Germany's old battle rifle, the H&K G3, which shot a 7.62mm round. And they basically wanted a rifle that was a little bit more lightweight and actually had a universal round, and that being the 223 or the 5.56 but 45mm round, which this gun does chamber in real life. Some other variations are the G36K, which you normally see with the KSK units. The G36KV, the G36V, it goes on, and they also had the MG36, which is a light machine gun version, which is really cool. And the G36C is actually the newest model of the G36. I believe it was made in around 2000, 2001, so it's kind of a newer design, the carbine compact version of the G36. And KWA did an amazing job replicating this firearm, and I'm very excited to show you guys. I really like it, so let's unbox this for you guys. KWA 2GX G36c is going to come in this nice H&K trademarked box here. Now, this gun is actually discontinued because of the reasoning on the box here. As you can tell, it is actually fully licensed by H&K. So basically, KWA used to have a contract with Umarex, so they had the rights to have the HK trades, but no, they are no longer with Umarex. But rumor has it that they are going to come back, so you guys will possibly be able to get your hands on these, and I, again, strongly recommend that you do so. So now let's open up this box and show you guys the contents that come with this rifle. Alright guys, so this is what's going to come in the box with the G36c. First off, you're just going to get a really nice detailed manual, which is in English and Spanish. It's really nice, has really nice pictures in here, and basically shows you how to break down the gun externally and internally, and shows you how to use all the external parts on the gun, including the mag, the iron sights, you know, etc., which is really nice. So make sure you do not lose this manual. It's very, very nice. You're also going to get a KWA brand 450 round high capacity magazine, which is translucent, so it's really, really nice, and we'll get some more details on this mag later in the video. And you're also going to get the gun itself. This is how we're going to tackle the review here. We're basically going to start with the stock and move all the way down to the flash hider, so let's begin. Starting off with the stock, it's just a typical G36 style stock. It's basically a fixed stock on most G36 that you see nowadays. It's made out of high impact polymer, very, very strong. It's not going to break on you anytime soon. Some cool features with the stock is, one is it's got basically holes on the bottom of it right here, as you can tell, and that is used to hold body pins, and the German military is actually trained to take the body pins out of the gun and actually keep them in there. And some body pins actually on this airsoft model can actually fit in the holes of the stock, which is really, really cool, and it just kind of adds a little bit more realism to the stock itself. You also see a sling mount right here, which you can use for those, you know, those awkward, you know, 3-4 point slings if you're into that. And you also have a really nice rubberized butt pad right here. But the coolest part of the stock is it actually folds. The stock is actually held on by a full metal latch right here and a full metal button. If you press that, the stock will actually fold and will clamp to the side of the gun. Now the cool thing about this is that you can still operate and maintain this gun while the stock is folded. On the real model, that's why, you know, there's a hole right here so the brass can fall out. But for the airsoft model, you can still easily access your fire selector and your magazine release, which is really, really nice. Let's talk about the body of this rifle. The gun is actually completely made out of polymer, but do not let that scare you, because the real steel G36 is actually made out of polymer as well. This is debatably stronger than the G&G combat machine, and I hate to say it, but I have dropped this rifle multiple times. It's just such a strong gun, guys. I can't tell you enough. Do not let this scare you. It is a very, very, very strong body. I don't know if you can tell by the camera, but there are some scratches on this body because this gun has been through hell and back. You know, I'm really rough with my rifles when I play, but you know, this is a tank right here. So basically with the body, I'm going to go over the pistol grip and kind of move my way up and go over some of the external components on the body itself. So the pistol grip here is basically, you know, a standard G36 pistol grip. There's not a whole lot of them out in the market. There's nothing where you can really do about it. You can get some rubberized padding on them, but otherwise you're going to have to deal with it. But that's also with a lot of other H&K style guns. Also here we have a full metal trigger guard and a full metal trigger, which is, you know, basically what you'll see on any high-end airsoft gun. You also have a full metal fire selector here, which is actually ambidextrous, which basically looks identical to the HK MP5 style rifles. There's really nice trades right here to show what style of fire you are on the rifle. A bullet with an X and white is safe. One bullet is semi-automatic, and multiple bullets is fully automatic. And I really like that they went the extra step with those trades there. And since it is ambidextrous, you're going to be able to use this rifle left or right-handed. Also, as you can see here, there are full-on H&K style trays on here, which is really, really nice and really well detailed, and that is not going to come off the body anytime soon. It says H&K G36c caliber 6mm. I wish they went the extra step and actually wrote 556 on it, but otherwise it's still pretty cool. You also get your own unique serial number on there as well. You also have your warning stamps on the body as well, which, you know, is basically on any airsoft gun. Also on the body here, you can see a sling mount right here, which is used for a one-point sling. Technique that I use that I actually showed Dante is to take a key ring and put that in there, and then you can use a one-point sling. Kind of just helps balance the gun out when you have it on your plate carrier. Last but not least on the body for the magwell, keep in mind the magwell is tight, so it is going to be picky with magazines, which we will go over in a little bit. And the magazine release as well is ambidextrous, just like the MP5, so this is going to be a very friendly gun for left and right-handed shooters. Here's the other side of the body. As you can tell here, again, the fire selector is on the other side. Again, this gun is ambidextrous, which is really, really nice. Cool magic for you guys there. Also, you can see the bolt here as well, which is constructed of a light aluminum, very nice and strong. And to get to the hop-up of this gun, you actually have to pull back on your charging handle right here, which is ambidextrous. It's a little tab here. You can either push it to the right or the left, which is really cool. And if you push that back, the bolt will go back, and you can see your hop-up unit right here. Now, since this gun is the 2GX G36c, you are going to get the KWA 2GX hop-up bucking, which is going to increase your groupings with your shots, which makes this gun pretty accurate. Also here you got your imitation for a brass stopper, but it's also used to hook the actual stock in place as well. Also on the body here we have the rail. Now the rail is constructed of polymer, but it actually is pretty strong, and as you can tell, you can mount many different styles of optics on here. Now, since the rail is actually rised a little bit on the rifle itself, it's actually used as a riser, so you don't have to buy really high-rised optics. So that's why I have a a low-sitting reflex here, and it works perfect with the gun. Also, you're going to be getting these really nice iron sights right here. Now, these iron sights are adjustable for windage and elevation, and they're really nice, and they are removable by Allen keys on each side of them. And here's the other side right here. Kind of like MP5 iron sights, they work really well, and they're actually one of the best iron sights I've had on an airsoft gun. So now let's move on to the magazines. Alright, so here's the mag that the gun comes with. It's a typical 450 round high capacity magazine here. Again, it is translucent, so you're actually going to be seeing how much rounds you have left in the magazine, which is basically like the real gun itself. Something that the G36 mags are really popular with are the tabs on each side, and you can actually mount two mags together, which I will show you guys right now. So basically that's what it looks like. They're basically mounted together here, so you can basically do fast reloads, which is really, really cool. So yeah, and then basically to rip them apart, you basically push forward and pull out, and the mag will clip right off. Now this particular mag that the gun comes with is a high cap, so it's like any other high cap for an airsoft gun. You basically just pull the tab out, pour your rounds in, and then you use the wheel on the bottom to get the BBs into the chamber of the magazine. Now, with mid-caps with this gun, being that it is a KWA, it is a little bit picky since the magwell is tight like most airsoft guns. So if you want to get mid-caps out there, you're going to have to do some filing. This one right here is a King Arms mid-cap, which actually does fit in the gun. But as you can tell, I did have to do some filing on the side of the mag here. So basically take a file and just file it down a little bit until you hear a nice click in the magwell, and then you should be good. Guys, so now let's talk about the handguard here. Now, the handguard is basically a typical G36 style handguard. It's made out of a little bit more lighter plastic design rather than the body itself, but it's still very durable, and again, not going to break on you anytime soon. Now, the version 1 KWA G36 actually had a fatter handguard, because back then they wanted you to run, you know, the large type batteries, but this one has the standard standard length and width of a normal G36 handguard, because they want you to run lipos in this gun, being the fact that it is a 2GX gun, so you're going to be able to run compact lipos in the handguard itself, since the wiring is all wired to the front. Now, the cool thing about this is KWA actually finally gives us the rails that we want. Usually with a lot of G36s out there, you actually have to buy the rails separately. So you're going to be getting all 3 rails on the handguard. One on the left, one on the right, and one on the bottom. As you can tell, on the bottom you can put on a grip, a grenade launcher, anything you want. Then on the sides you can have a flashlight, a laser, anything you would want of that nature. Now, to get to the battery compartment, you actually have to push your body pin out, which is right here, and this body pin actually does fit in the stock of the gun with the holes, which we did show in the beginning of the video, which is really cool. And then you're basically going to slide the handguard right off here, and that is what the handguard looks like close up. As you can tell, 3 metal rails on each side, and if you do want to get extended rails, you can do so, or if you're even interested, you can get a RAS unit, which does clip on to the sides of the body here. Alright, as you can tell now, this is one con with the gun. The battery space is quite limited here, so I recommend those Mad Dog 7.4 volt lipos or those compact 11-1s, but otherwise you're really going to be restricted with batteries here, so just be aware of that. So yeah, last but not least, let's talk about the flash hider. The flash hider is a normal black flash hider, and it actually comes orange, but I kind of scraped it off. If you do want to take this off, just take a small Allen key and put it on the bottom there and basically screw it off, and once this comes off, you're going to have the normal 14mm counterclockwise threads, and then you can put on all of your tactical accessories from suppressors, silencers, and even something like this, a sound amplifier, and it's endless. Tracer units, you name it, it will all fit on this gun. So now let's talk about the internals of this beast. The actual gearbox itself is a version 3 actually, and you can debate all you want, but it is true that typically a version 3 gearbox is more reliable than a version 2, just because of the fact that the motor is attached to the gearbox, so the motor isn't going to wobble around. The gearbox is, basically LiPo ready out of the box. It's one of the best gearboxes out in the market for the money. You basically don't have to do any work to it. It's already shimmed. It's perfect. The gears, piston head, cylinder, trigger contacts, everything is perfect in this gearbox. The only thing I've done to it is put a M120 spring in it, and that's really about it. Some other internal parts you're going to get is, like I said again, the 2GX hop-up bucking, which is going to help with your groupings, and you're also going to get a Type 4 barrel pre-installed with this rifle as well, which is just going to help again with range, accuracy, and groupings. Guys, I really recommend this rifle. It's basically, like I said again, one of my favorite rifles in my armory. So if KWA does manage to put this rifle back out in the market, I highly suggest picking it up. In my opinion, it's one of KWA's best products they've ever put out there, and a lot of people do agree with that as well. Just all the aspects of it just fit me personally and a lot of others. It's a really nice compact design. It's really durable, really lightweight. And also, if you just want to run a different style of platform rather than an M4 and AK and just want to be a little bit more different, try out the G36. There's a lot of stuff coming out on the market for it. And, since it does run a version 3 gearbox, you are going to be able to customize it, like any other AG, like an MP5, AK, etc. And you can either turn this into a range gun or a speed gun. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please comment, rate, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, everyone.